All right, it's time to have a look at the dynamic nexus between human behaviour and cybersecurity as we delve into the transformative potential of emotional intelligence within this constantly evolving domain. For more, I am joined by Sanela Osmic, who is the CEO and Managing Director of Ethical Governance, and we're going to be looking at how human behaviour impacts cybersecurity and how does emotional intelligence aid in addressing that human element in security. Selena, thanks for your time.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me. The role of human behavior and decision-making in cybersecurity is undeniably significant. While technological advancements have improved security awareness and measures, humans remain the weakest link in the cyber chain. Understanding and addressing human elements in cybersecurity is critical. Many cybersecurity hackers are using phishing and social engineering and targeting human psychology and emotions. Hackers manipulate emotions like fear, curiosity, and trick individuals into disclosing confidential information. And emotional intelligence can help recognizing those behaviors and manage these emotional triggers.
When we're responding to something that says, you owe money or you need to do this now,
Exactly.
act now, it's that anxiety that it produces. But how can empathy and understanding benefit cybersecurity professionals when it comes to threat detection, incident response, and of course those non-technical communications for people who aren't as linguistic when it comes to all of this?
Yes. Empathy is one of the critical elements of emotional intelligence and can be used for threat detection. For example, understanding the emotions and motivations behind user behavior is critical for spotting any anomalies. Cybersecurity professionals with high levels of empathy and high levels of emotional intelligence, they can better discern unusual patterns of behavior. For example, if some employees are expressing some stress or fear, or they can see some change in their behavior, that can be a red flag, and they can make sure that they follow up on these ones and see what's happening. In terms of incident response, managing cybersecurity incidents can be quite stressful. So it's really important that cybersecurity professionals have some level of empathy and emotional intelligence to manage their own stress, but also emotions during high-pressure situations, allowing for more effective decision-making and calmer, more efficient response.
Sanela, I was just going to jump in. How can we go about promoting ethical behaviour in cybersecurity, do you think, based on what you've sort of explained so far?
Yes, there's strong links that suggest that emotional intelligence is really strongly linked to ethical behavior. So it's important to create a culture of ethical behavior, making sure that employees or everybody knows what they need to do, that there are policies in place, that there are structures in place. So when something happens, that people know who to talk to, how to address issues. It's also important that there is no blame culture, because of course we all clicked on links that we shouldn't have clicked. We all done something that we shouldn't have, and we know that on a human level, on a conscious level. But unfortunately, when we're under stress, sometimes we react subconsciously, we react out of fear, out of negligence. So it is important that the company has policies in place, that there is enough training, there is awareness about security issues when it comes to cybersecurity, of course, but also other areas.
Sanela, strategies for stress management are something that a lot of people are curious about. Talk to us a bit about how they relate to cybersecurity and those crisis scenarios, and of course their impact on decision-making and incident resolution when it comes to fixing these issues.
Yes, so it's really important to be transparent when something happens. So when things happen, so it is important that people stay calm as much as possible during an incident. This can be done through scenario planning. So it is important that they do some planning in advance, that they have got some rules in place, so-called playbooks, that they can use in times of incidents, and they can use emotional intelligence practices. There's some mindfulness activities that they can use to manage stress. It's important that they communicate with non-technical stakeholders as well. So when they communicate, that they use jargons that can be easily translated and easily understood. So they need empathetic behaviors. They need to show empathy to other stakeholders who are affected with the cyber incident that happened.
Now, a curious one to finish for me, and let's look at envisaging a human-centred future for cybersecurity, and I guess those strategies for fostering a security culture that's driven by emotional intelligence. I know there's a lot of artificial intelligence going on at the moment in the cybersecurity space, but how do we make it a little more human and, of course, keep it strong?
Look, the future of cybersecurity is going to be focused on human elements because technology in its own, it's not enough to protect organizations. So it is important. There's going to be more cybersecurity awareness, but cybersecurity also for non-technical teams. Cybersecurity is not longer just an IT issue. It's really everybody's responsibility. So there's going to be more cross-functional collaboration between different teams. So to understand what everybody's role and responsibility is, how to do things that they're supposed to do. More empathetic training is going to be that's more user-centric. Also, the security measures are going to be more user-centric. There is no point of having systems in place that are frustrating to use for all users. So it is really important to have systems that are user-friendly, that they're user-centric, designed with the user in mind, so that people can really, there's a balance between security but also usability. Increased training and awareness about emotional intelligence. We're going to have more emotionally intelligent leaders because obviously they need to manage their teams. They need to manage themselves under stress when things do happen. They need to communicate with stakeholders effectively, but also manage the incidents and incident response teams.
Absolutely, well said by you. And Sanela, thank you so much for joining us on the program and bringing a bit of a different spin to a discussion that I've had, a few times with cybersecurity professionals. I think it's an important one to throw in there as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.